Hi everyone, hi Shincheonji members. This is Ezra Kim. It is October 13th, 2023 LA time. Today I will tell you about the 2023 Shincheonji 100K graduation ceremony in Australia. For Shincheonji members, the 100K graduation ceremony is very important because it is evidence of physical fulfillment. What is the physical fulfillment? Yo 선생님, promised pastor, claims that everything in the book of Revelation has been fulfilled in Korea through him, the one who overcomes. That's the physical fulfillment, right? According to the physical fulfillment, all nations must come to the new heaven and new earth, that is Shincheonji, Mount Zion. That's why 100K graduation ceremony is very, very important because Yo 선생님 must show the graduation ceremony as a result of the physical fulfillment. So the actual number of graduates must be 100,000 again this year, right? I'm not making this video to persecute you. I just want you to think about all the facts objectively. As far as I know, Shincheonji is planning to hold the 100K graduation ceremony again in November 2023. And I think you'd expect there to be about 100K actual graduates again this year at this event, right? Because this is not just a festival where all existing members gather. Instead, this graduation ceremony must be where the 100,000 real graduates should be congratulated, if everything is true. In this situation, interestingly, I heard about Australia Shincheonji graduation ceremony to be held this Sunday, October 15th, 2023, at the Sydney Town Hall located at 483 George Street, Sydney, NSW 2000. I have some questions to Australia Shincheonji members and even other Shincheonji members all over the world. Is this ceremony at Sydney for the 100K graduation ceremony in 2023? Aren't you gonna attend the graduation ceremony live in November? Are all the graduates attending the town hall real graduates? Australia Shincheonji members, even though you have already graduated, will you wear a gown and attend this graduation ceremony again as a graduate? What are your answers? Shincheonji members from all over Australia, including Adelaide, Brisbane, Canberra, Melbourne, Perth, and Sydney, will come to Town Hall for this graduation ceremony. As you can see, this event is for the class 114. If you remember, last year's 100K graduation ceremony was for the class 113. This means that it is easy to guess that class 114 is for the new 100K graduation in 2023. But why does Australia Shincheonji hold a separate graduation ceremony instead of participating live at the 100,000 graduation ceremony that will be held simultaneously around the world in November? Last Sunday, October 8th, the Special Department 부장님 in Sydney provided education for the graduation ceremony to be held in Australia. While listening to her education, I wondered if there were fake graduates at the graduation ceremony or if they were trying to make a fake live video and send it to Korea. So let's think about these two things first, and at the end, I will show you Sydney 부장님's education from the last Sunday. You will watch it for yourself and think about it objectively to see if I'm saying is true. My first question was whether fake graduates will exist at the Australia graduation ceremony. And looking at her education, I was convinced that most graduates would be prepared to become fake graduates. She provided detailed training to current Sydney members on how to wear graduation gowns and where to sit at the graduation ceremony. Why does she need to train the current members? This is because many of the current members should also attend the graduation ceremony as graduates. During the education, she literally mentioned if you have experienced graduation before. I was like, what? Why do they need to attend the graduation ceremony again as the graduates, even though many of them have already graduated? This is a seating chart created for the Sydney Town Hall graduation ceremony. And this is the list of current registered members of Shincheonji in Australia. I received this information from the informant in September 2023. Comparing these two data shows that most of the graduates at this graduation ceremony are fake graduates. For example, this is the number of Sydney Shincheonji. Except for essential staff, choir, orchestra, or etc., everyone attends as graduates. I heard that NCD is for newcomers department, D1 is for all the members, and D5 is like recently married couple group. This means they are already official members of Sydney Shincheonji. The number of members in Brisbane is 183, and all of them, excluding performers and essential staff, are graduates. Melbourne has 673 members, excluding performers and essential staff. Almost everyone will also be attending as graduates. The same goes for Adelaide. The registration number is 111, and almost everyone except essential performers and staff will wear graduation gowns. Perth number is 166, and 140 people, excluding performers and staff, will wear graduation gowns. Canberra is small now, so I think everyone will be attending as graduates. As you can see, the total number of registered number now in Australia is 1,616, and the total number of attendees in this venue is 1920. Australia Shincheonji members, how many real graduates are there? What about the live stream? They plan to record the graduation ceremony and send it to Korea. And like last year, I think the actual graduation ceremony in November will make it look as if Australian graduates are attending the graduation ceremony in real time. Shincheonji members, this is a lie. From now on, I'll show you the education that the Special Department 부장님 gave to Sydney members on October 8th, 2023. I want you to check for yourself whether everything I said is true or not.
네, 안녕하십니까? 네, how are we, Sydney congregation members? And Tassie as well, yes. All right, so before we begin, let's greet each other. Oh, you look extra beautiful today. 네, okay, amen. All right. So everyone, do we know what this education is about? Do you have an idea?
Graduation.
Wow, who's excited? Woo! So exciting, right? And because we are the hosting region or church, then of course we have to know everything that is there to know about the graduation, right? So I hope that you guys listen really well, and then for any questions, please sit comfortably. So now I get it. Sometimes it's really, hard to notice. But anyway, so this time, please listen carefully, and together let's prepare with a good heart and determined heart to make this graduation very successful. Amen. All right. So if you go, I can use this. Okay. So when it would be everyone this Sunday. All right. 15th of October from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So all the regions will be coming here. Some of them will be coming on Friday night, and Saturday night, and then some of them coming on the day. Like Melbourne themselves will be arriving around 7:30. So what do we need to prepare everyone is a bright smile for them, okay? All right. So I will be going through the actual program. So there is two parts, right? So for the first part, we do have the graduation ceremony, of course. So it starts at 8 a.m. But what we have to understand here is that the 8 a.m. is the time that we can go in. Even staff themselves is only at 8 a.m. that they can access. So for us to be able to get into the venue at 8:30, then we need to be there by 8 a.m. as well, right? However, we cannot go in straight, but we need to make sure that like all the staff is positioned clearly first, because that is the only time that they can be positioned anyway. But for us, who's going to be arriving at 8 a.m., then it's like a preparation time, right? So we need to make sure that we are lined up properly and very organized. So we have to understand that this is a very, very big event with a lot of people. And it's not just going to be an indoor, like everything is going to be indoor, but there is a part that we need to take notice of in terms of like the order and safety outside as well. Okay, so once we arrive at the venue, then we need to gather with our groups and be organized. Okay, so when we see the arrival at 8 a.m., yes, it will be for everyone, and then the staff themselves will be positioned, all right? And then by 8:15, everyone's lined up properly, okay, line up and wearing the gowns themselves, okay? So I will explain a bit more how the graduation gowns will be distributed by department and group as well. But by 8:30, everyone is going to be entering, okay? Oh, but entering like rowdily? No, organized, okay? All right, so by that time, 8:30 a.m., then what will happen is there's going to be like a time to settle in for an hour. All right. So by 9:45, there is the praise and worship rehearsal. Okay. And then during that time of 1 hour before, like once we enter, and then by 9:45, what's gonna happen is there's gonna be a lot of like rehearsals for choir, for orchestra, a lot of checking of AV as well. All right. So why I'm explaining this, everyone, so that like you guys know what is actually about to happen, and because we are the host, then we are the one also preparing together. Right. Okay. So at that time, even photos will be taken per section. I will show you also like where each department will be seated. Okay. So we just need to keep in mind like this floor, and it will be shared to you guys. Okay. So by that 9:45 praise and worship rehearsal, and then by 10 a.m. gown rehearsal. This means that we will be taking a lot of videos and photos of like very loud amens, very bright smiles, okay? So this time, please cooperate well. So our culture Bojanim will be also directing this part, okay? Okay, and then by 11 a.m., it's break time. Wow. So what will you be doing at that time? Will you just be going out and then like, you know, chatting around? No, of course you can chat to the person next to you, but then this is the time that you can also go to the toilet, okay? Have like a bit of snacks, but not like barbecue, not barbecue on that time, but you can refresh yourself, all right? So we are trying to restrain unnecessary movements or unnecessary of like going out here and there, because there's a lot of like members, a lot of saints there. And then in order to gather again everyone after going here and there, it's going to take so much time. So please understand that this is very important, like that we can be organized and like we know exactly what we need to do. Okay? And then, okay, so by 11:40, then we start our praise and worship. Actually, by around 11:30, center students from 152 and then other center students also who have open S will also be attending. Right. So anyway, later I will explain where they will be seated. But by 11:30, then they will be seated just in time for our praise and worship. Okay. So 11:40 is actually the start of like how we do service, like now or like every Sunday, and then by 12, then that's the start of the actual graduation. All right. So when we see the graduation ceremony, it would be roughly around 20 minutes like sermon. Okay, and then there will be like awarding ceremony as well, testimony, and then by 1:45, 140, we'll have a recording of our light performance. Oh, you don't even know what is light performance. And wow. Okay, so at this time, we will have time to record. You know, like how in Korea we do have like cards performances. We were supposed to do that, but then it was, yeah, it's a lot of practice and a lot of like costing as well. So what we're gonna do, the light performance, and we'll make use of our phone torch. All right, so we will dim like the whole venue, and then we will make a text. We are one with that light. Okay, so we need everyone's cooperation with this. All right, really listening properly to our culture bujanim as well. So he will be directing this part. Soon as we record this, then we can go lunch. All right, okay. So this is the first floor, and then during after the recording of the light ceremony practice, then we will do lunch break, change of clothes. Okay. So everyone, how to change clothes, I will also explain. All right. So as you can see, we have about 1,700 expectant that will attend the graduation. So it's gonna be so much. And you can just imagine how many people will try to go to the toilet, right? Right, okay. So anyway, so this is the first part. Is this understandable, everyone? Yeah, okay, amen. Then for the second part, very simple. Okay, very simple. So after the 45 minutes lunch break, then we will go back to our seats, and then performances will start. All right, so each region have prepared really amazing performances, everyone. So they have practiced. Actually, you can see our Sydney congregation members also practicing, right? So we have been gathering and we have been meeting as well to talk about like the AV requirements and things like this, and really amazing. Okay, so during this time, we need to be really shouting and then really encouraging everyone, right? Okay, so it will run until 4 p.m. So by 4 p.m., it's very important that we move pali-pali, because we only hired the place until 4. Okay, but then there's also, of course, a buffer time, but we need to actually finish the program right on the dot. Okay, so that is the second part, and there's also a special performance that I won't say what it is, but you can really be happy and very cheering for it for sure. Okay, please expect, or have a very high expectation. Okay. Then, okay, so in terms of preparation, how are we preparing for it? Okay, so most of the task-given workers have collected the gowns. So how it's going to be distributed is per group. If you have experienced like the graduation before, actually we have like old gowns in like in the center, and then we steam it. But actually now there's so much, right? So this is the most efficient way. So each group have actually taken the gowns, and then themselves, they steam it, and then we'll prepare it for all the members of the group. And then it will be delivered, not delivered, but it will be hand-overed on the day to the members. And what's inside of the bag would be the gowns and the wristbands. Okay, so the wristbands, everyone, like all the regions have their own wristbands, and this is to recognize like which region are they from, not only for internal purpose, but also for the venue operations team as well. Okay, so our color, I chose that color. So pretty, right? Okay. So I believe that the preparation is being carried out well. And then for each member as well, like please ask, like, is there anything that I can help with in preparation? Okay, so I'm pretty sure our task-given workers, Gujanim, is going to be so much like happy to receive your help. All right? And then what else is happening? Madiji, I always in the photo because you always take photos, right? So, okay, pickets and props making. All right, so each group is preparing this. Although we did announce that we, required to have one big banner, one picket, plus 4 small props per group. Let's try to make more. Why? Because it's so hard to bring to the plane, right? For Perth or Adelaide, so we can also share to them. Okay, so for the pickets and props, how are we gonna use it? Is we're gonna use it like on the like when you're sitting down as well for taking photos. We don't have a photo wall area or photo booth area, but anywhere, everyone like the location itself is already like so good, right? Like it's so pretty, so we can just like use it. Okay, so for taking photos with the group as well. All right, so anywhere, any place in the venue. Okay, so I believe that one is also underway. 네. And then, okay, important thing, tight, right? Because on the day, it's going to be combination of everyone, like all region. So we will do online transfers, and then please get it ready, prepared by Wednesday, 5 p.m. so that it like lands on the church account at least before Sunday. Okay, so please remind each other or remind yourself as well to do this. Right, it's very important. 네. And then, all right, on the day, what you should be wearing, what everyone is wearing, except for those staff and those part of choir or orchestra, what we'll be wearing is our service clothes, all right? But then this is the time that you really need to look your best, okay? I know you're extra beautiful today, but then that time, that day, very special day, you need to be extra, 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 extra beautiful. Okay, and then by wearing our service clothes properly, as shown in the photo here, and then let's prepare together. Amen. Okay. 네. Hang on. All right. So for our sisters also, please make sure to wear colored, right? Because some of the gowns, we don't have enough like neck clothes, like where you put like the colored ones. So please make sure that you wear this so it looks like more nicer with the gowns. 네. All right, and then on the wait. Okay, on the day. Actually, there you can't see it. Like I have it highlighted, but okay, just bear with me. So on the day, the entry points of our like all the regions basically is different, right? So for Sydney would be door B here, like where St. Andrew Plaza, like St. Andrew Cathedral, the plaza is there, right? So everyone gathers here, including the performers, meaning the performers like from 2 p.m. And then also for all the staff, okay? So anyway, what you guys just need to remember is Sydney gathers in that part, right? Okay, and then door A, which is the George Street, who will be going there? It would be Perth, Brisbane, Adelaide, and Canberra. All right, and then for like the door C, which is the Druitt Street. So I believe like everyone's kind of familiar, right? Also door C, it will be Melbourne, and then the choir, and then the orchestra. All right. Okay, so just remember door B. Okay, that plaza. That's where we're gonna be meeting and entering as well. 네, okay, so this is it. So just to give you a visual like reference as well. So St. Andrew's Plaza this side. So that we will be utilizing the 2 stairs going up, but the one that's going from the left, they will be sitting on the ground level, right? But the one that's gonna be coming from the right, they will be going up the first level. Okay, so there would be staff to guide us, like where to go and then how to, like, you know, where to stand as well and everything. So please just follow the guides. So for those who's going to be sitting on the ground level, which department would it be? So it would be, it wasn't highlighted, but then here, from the very front row, there's like 5 rows. This will be a combination of all the regions, okay? But Sydney would have about 40 people here. So who would they be? It will be from 148 to 152, okay? And then, okay, so the blue one, of course, is Sydney. And then for the back area, it would be center students, 152, but also can be a combination of like other departments like NCD, D1, and D5. So these are the departments and these are the like center students that will be in the ground level, okay? So that, and who will be in the first level? Okay, so this is a mock-up of how we want to like decorate the inside with all the names of the places in Australia that we're gonna conquer. New South Wales, New South Wales. Right. Okay. So for the first level, who would it be? It would be Sydney and then Perth and Brisbane performers and orchestra on the very side, which is this one here. Yeah, that part. And then it would be SD, Special Department, D3 and D2, and the center students who haven't like really, who's not, basically all the other center students that's not 152. Right, okay, so they will be wearing service clothes, but for the ones that's like on the ground level, they will be all wearing gowns, graduation gowns, okay? So this part, all clear? Amen. Right, okay, so this one you don't have to memorize, okay? But you just have to like see that this is how like it would be, like in terms of like staff, there's gonna be staff everywhere. And then each section, each part of the venue would be handled or would be managed by each region's section leader, pretty much, right? So the other side, actually, if you see here, the right side of the venue is actually most of them is Melbourne. And then the left side is actually Sydney, like that. So that's why the section leaders would be like from Melbourne on that side, Sydney from that side, and then from the front it would be from Adelaide and Perth, like this, okay? So when we see this, like everyone, how much preparation has gone through this and how much planning has gone through this, it's like in a different level, okay? So that's why we hope everyone can like, you know, coordinate and then follow well, and then let's really make this, you know, day a very like safe and like organized, okay? So that it can also really be graceful for everyone, especially for our brothers and sisters that came from other regions as well. Right, okay. So anyway, that's the first level, the ground level, sorry. And then this is the second floor, which is the first level. All right, so that will be Melbourne, and this is Sydney, okay? Then now we have prepared less than 2 minutes etiquette video. So please watch and remember well.
안녕하십니까, Australia Church. Australia United graduation is coming soon.
And before we meet together, there's a few things we must know. Since we are people who spread heavenly culture, I hope we never forget to greet our family members with a bright expression and always never forget that we are members of Shincheonji. 안녕하십니까.
Please arrive at the graduation venue by 8 a.m.
This way, please.
감사합니다.
Please follow the directions of our ushers and announcers and refrain from taking your own actions.
Photos and videos will be taken before you enter the venue, so please be prepared.
Seating has been allocated, so please follow the directions on the day.
You can bring your water bottle as well.
Personal belongings will be kept to a minimum and stored under individual seats. Please also bring any rubbish with you when you leave.
Online streaming will not be supported, so let's meet our long-distance spiritual family face to face.
Let us show our heavenly order and culture to the world.
Looking forward to meet everyone soon.
Wow, amazing, everyone, right? So it reminded me of like announcement on the plane. Store your belongings. I just have to say it, right? So anyway, everyone, I hope that it's very basics, but actually it is easy to forget the basics, right? So at that day, really have a very awakened mindset, okay? So And or in order, I think like many people also like wondering, oh, so how about lunch, right? Okay, so our lunch, everyone will be provided. There would be, it's not like very fancy, but I hope that we can remember why are we here, right? Like why we're doing this. It's not to have like buffet or like eat together. Please do it afterwards if you want. So during that time, we will have like a lunch food, which is sandwich, a platter, mixture of ham, cheese, and tomato, turkey and other roasted vegetables, and hummus for vegan. So actually before this, we have gathered dietary requirements from our saints from all the regions as well. But the thing is, like, of course, we will try to accommodate to everyone. However, for each catering section, so there would be 2 upstairs, like left and right, and there would be 2 downstairs as well that will be positioned. Please read carefully also the ingredients. Okay, so what the operations team from Town Hall will do, they will write down the actual ingredients of the sandwiches, and if it's gluten-free as well. So for those who have like really like a strict or strict dietary requirement, then please bring also like some snacks or your own food. We actually cannot bring outside food, but for this matter, then of course it can be allowed. For those who also have like allergies or any medications that's required, then please bring it as well. Although we have medics on the venue, but please also, like what you will be needing, right? Okay, is this part understood, everyone? Amen. Amen. All right. So everyone, what is really, really important to remember at that time? Again, we are the host, right? We are the host region. Then therefore, our expression is always need to be bright, right? Need to be bright, and then always pali, quickly. If we were asked to move to this side, if we are asked to move to a different seat, then quickly follow, okay? So we need to show that, when we see our other regions' preparation is really extreme as well. And then for our Melbourne, brothers and sisters, how they even got here would be to travel for 10 hours in a bus, and then straight to the venue as well, isn't it? So for them, or also when we see their number, everyone 750 to travel by bus, isn't it? And then for other regions as well, there's going to be 150 of them, average like that. Okay, so for Sydney, what we need to do, very host, welcome. And then if anyone asks from other regions as well, where is this? Okay, you shouldn't say I don't know, I'm not sure. Let me ask my GY, I don't know. Not like that, but we know exactly where it would be. So of course, in terms of the venue itself, you might not know, but then they would have their own section leaders and guides anyway for that part. But then in terms of Sydney, where is this or something like that? Or also what's the next program? Again, anyway, everything that I'm saying would be educated together in their regions as well. But just in case that you get asked these kind of questions, right? And also, one thing to take note of is the loudest amen, where should it come from? Sydney. Amen, isn't it? Amen. So can we practice? 3, 2, 1. Amen. Wow, is that the loudest? 3, 2, 1. Amen. Wow, okay. So anyway, it's not everyone, right? So it will be louder later on, all right? Then everyone, okay, what else is we need to be mindful of, because of course from 8 a.m. till we come in, till we enter the venue, there's gonna be a lot of us outside, right? So you can just imagine also, of course for us, we're in the plaza, so it's a bit more enclosed, but the other regions like Melbourne and George Street as well, where Adelaide and Brisbane and Perth and Canberra is actually going through our Sydney side. But for the other entry points, there would be mostly blocking the pathway, isn't it? So that's why we have to quickly go in to avoid inconveniencing others as well, right? So for those who's going to be asking what is this, passersby, what is this? Is this a graduation like this? At that time, would you be like hiding? Oh, what you should be saying? Yes, a graduation of. Oh, not just like, oh, it's a theology graduation. Not like that. Oh, it's a Shincheonji graduation. Oh, right. So across like the regions of Australia, like everyone is here to do the graduation ceremony. Be proud, isn't it? Amen. All right. So please remember that. And then in terms of, okay, after event, all right, after event, then the gowns, everyone, so it will be distributed to all the groups on the day. And then as you also queue up, then you also need to put on top of your service clothes. Quickly, because we don't have time. So it's not like when you go in, oh, where's the toilet? I need to change. Not like that. But while as you're in the line, so you can gather beforehand with your group as well, and then like, and then arrive there like wearing the gowns and stuff, okay? So afterwards, after the ceremony, like 2 o'clock, then there's a change, right? So change is just like taking off basically. And then like putting back on the tote bag that will be provided, or however like the department will be arranging it. And then until the end, please have it with you. And then by the end of the event, or around 4 o'clock p.m., then please make arrangements together with the group, with your gukjenim also, to hand it back. Why? Because we need to also wash it, all right? We can't just like get someone, one person or two or a group to do it for us, but everyone, this is also our mindset, right? I'm the owner also, like this. So we will be returning it the Sunday after. Okay, so we have 1 week to do this, all the washing and then, folding properly like this. Okay, so we will do everything together. Okay, amen. All right, and then before you leave, please check belongings. So this is very important actually for all the regions when I spoke to them yesterday. Please check your belongings. It's so hard to ship to Melbourne or to Perth like this, okay? But for us, everyone, even Sunday service, like people forget their bags. Forget their shoes. So, sometimes, mindset, spirit is flying away. But anyway, okay, so please don't forget. Make sure that before you stand up and leave the area, check, okay? Actually, in the train as well, you have to do that. So anyway, and then take your rubbish with you. Amen. Okay, amen. And then, okay, exit time. How do we exit? So there would be the host of the performance pot. Actually, our performance MC would be our John Gukjanim and Hannah Gukjanim. All right? So during that time, okay, they will also direct us on how to exit. But pretty much, it would be the same as how we entered. So to avoid confusions as well. All right? But most important, keep your ears open. Okay, keep your ears open. Always with a very quick movement as well. We follow and we move together. And then with the bright expressions, do not loiter around, where everyone else is gathered, please gather together, okay? You shouldn't be going here and there. So this time, how can we make it really a very pleasant experience and very graceful as well, is when we do it together in a very orderly and safe manner, okay? All right, so since we're the host, I hope that we can remember everything that I've just said. Amen. Okay, all right. Then everyone, that's it from me. However, I will pass it on to our culture bojanim to explain about the performance part. Okay? 네, 감사합니다.
Shincheonji members, actually, I don't need to explain all this to you because you've already know the reality of 100K graduation. You may have heard that you will be sitting on behalf of overseas graduates. However, Shincheonji members from other countries also heard the same thing. Shincheonji members in Korea heard that overseas graduates cannot come to Korea, so they would attend the graduation ceremony as graduates on behalf of overseas graduates. Each replaces the other, and fake graduates continue to be added. Hey Shincheonji members, 100K graduation ceremony is just for propaganda. It is not a real situation. If the 100,000 graduates are not real, the physical fulfillment cannot be true. You already know everything. Don't fool yourself. Think objectively. Check all the facts for yourself. If you look on the internet, you can find countless evidences that Man-hee is not the promised pastor.